let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape line, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Damn liar, man. That's not true.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
Will you ever run for political office again?
No. I know I'm called middle class Joe. It's not meant as a compliment, means I'm not sophisticated.
We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over fact.
Senator Biden, words have in the past gotten you in trouble. Words that were borrowed and words that some found hateful. An editorial in the Los Angeles Times said, in addition to his uncontrolled verbosity, Biden is a gaffe machine. Can you reassure your voters in this country that you would have the discipline you would need on the world stage, Senator?
Yes. My name is Joe Biden, and I love ice cream. What President Trump has done in going is spreading of racism, the way he deals with color of their skin, their national origin, where they're from, is absolutely sickening. No sitting president has ever done this. Never, never, never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic president. We've had racists, and they've existed, they've tried to get elected president. He's the first one that has. And the way he pits people against one another is all designed to divide the country, divide people, not put them together.
If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot.
Have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Lobbyists aren't bad people. Special interest groups are not bad people. But guess what? They're corrosive. People who accept money from them aren't bad people. But it's human nature. You go out, Lynn, and bundle $250,000 for me, all legal, and then you call me after I'm elected and say, Joe, I'd like to come and talk to you about something. You didn't buy me, but it's human nature. You help me. I'm going to say, sure, Lynn, come on in.
Is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick. I promise you. Election year, the choice is clear. One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. I love kids jumping on my lap. The fact is that what happens now is that we in fact have to fundamentally change the culture of how women are treated. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. We can speak out and be more straightforward. I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am to be Vice President of the United States of America. Let's get that straight. And quite frankly, it might have been a better pick than me.
I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talked about it. But what happened was they said, come back when you're 40, son.
Eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion out of $1.4 trillion. It's hard to even say it so much.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Damn liar, man. That's not true.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Hello, how are y'all doing? We're back. I hope you're all doing well. I wasn't streaming, I was in the city. And yeah, I don't know, I think they're cute. It's like platinum blonde highlights. I kind of want to just go full platinum blonde now. Rosa, thank you. Anyone else subscribe? I don't think so. Thank you. It looks less blonde, or it looks less like light in this video than it does like regularly. I was worried it would make my hair look washed out, but I actually think I can go quite light. I think it's or my skin, I guess. Well, it looks shiny because there's the lighting, but it looks darker than it is normally. Like it's quite, I don't know. It's good. It makes my hair look fuller. Like it doesn't. I have very thin hair, so it like helps. Um, it's a little bit like rich white lady coated, which I'm not fond of that component, but I do like it. I don't know. I went to this middle-aged, very left-wing French lady who's very good at cutting hair, so we like her. New glasses. We love to see it. Um, yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. Canadian aunt coded a little bit, yeah, a little bit, a pinch, which I guess platinum blonde would also be that, but whatever. It's fun. Um, oh, it was the When Will Live Go Live? Yeah. Um, I promise we're not rigging. I guess I could rig it the bet of like when will Live go live. I feel like an NBA. But wasn't there a thing in the NBA of like a ref was like betting on games and stuff to fix them? I could do that, I guess, with posting points. Although I guess I have infinite posting points, so I wouldn't need to. Can you do the Toronto youth accent? I don't think I want to. I would prefer not to. Although honestly, I will say I do like a lot of the lingo. Like I grew up in BC, but I went to school in Ontario with a bunch of people from Toronto. Like I think the phrase reach needs to have more sway. Like come reach. Live, are you cheesing fam? I think come reach is cool. A lie is good. I like a lie. Is that where's a lie from? Is that like an Arabic term? What is the one I'm thinking of? They're fun. It's good though. I support. Like it is funny though, I will say. What are the other good ones? Bear as like a lot. Like I get bear like women. That one's cool too, cause it's you feel like it's the opposite. It's like I get barely any. There's all those videos, especially after that um white lady with the like leave your mom in the hood or whatever. I can't remember the full thing. But especially after that, there's like TikToks of like Toronto teenagers doing and it's all like it's put on for the most like the extreme ones. It is you know what you're doing, right? It's like you're doing kind of it's an in joke. But then all the comments are people like Toronto is a fake place. This isn't real. If the business is true and you left your moms in the hood, someone go smoke that you is my favorite. That lady's awesome. The real cool one, because she's been doing that for a while, and I assume it's like it's like it's partially put on. It's like old UK slang. That's funny. Yeah, a lot of the slang comes from like it's like kind of Commonwealth black slang. Like it's a lot of Jamaican words, and then yeah, I guess a lot of British as well. Um, what was I gonna say? Imagine bear women. Well, I think that's a different thing. The Victims of Communism Memorial was awesome. It looks like shit. Did they get all the Nazis off it, or did they not bother? It was like, what was that like? They accidentally, it was like, oops, there's a bunch of, which sounds like a joke, where it's like, yeah, the victims of communism where the Schuster fell, the Nazi high command. I think it's a federal thing. You see, like it looks, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that, that like war memorial, the Family Guy bit about the Vietnam War memorial, with the Vietnamese guy being like scoreboard. They had to remove all the names because they couldn't figure it out which one was. That's awesome. Well, oops. That is the funny where it's like, look, some of them it was fair. Like, sure, that have bad things, but like, we'll just remove them. You can imagine, a solid portion of them aren't Nazis. Oh, I forgot to turn the Biden count down, which isn't so much a Biden count. It's more just ADHD. The John McCain capture monument that U.S. officials lay flowers at in Hanoi. Is there one in Hanoi? I guess is that a product of like Vietnamese American reconciliation? That's a weird subject that I'm not that knowledgeable about. Because like Vietnam is like functionally an American ally. Like it's a big trading partner. They both don't like China. I know a lot of Vietnamese Americans are very GOP. Although I guess that's like people who left. So it's not a connected phenomena. I don't know what the relationship between Vietnamese diaspora and the state is. Because it's always interesting. Because with some countries, I know it's quite adversarial on average. Like there's a lot of Iranian people in Vancouver, and Iranian diaspora are generally typically not fond of the Iranian state, which is unlike like I don't know Greek, Serbian, Armenian diaspora, who are generally much more like supportive of their home state's interests. I don't know what the ratio is. If anyone knows about more in relation to that. Are super anti-communist for the most part, right? That makes sense. The Iranian diaspora who support the Shah are very funny. Although the Shah is like the current guy is washed. I was told the current guy is washed. But you see like they're like anti Islamic Republic of Iran, like I don't want to say parades, like protests in Vancouver, and a lot of them they have the Qajar lion, like it's the Iranian flag with the lion in the middle. Which I imagine is like an annoying, because a lot of people left. I mean, historically, a lot of people left Iran because they didn't like the monarch. Oh, oopsie. Is FaZe Rain support? Is there a FaZe clan guy who likes the Shah, or is this That's awesome. Didn't beat Hassan's autism score. I know, I'm so washed. I tried to fill it out in a way that was less, because like with the feeder things, the what are they called? Oh, the thing. The real reason I got my hair lighter is to more accurately depicts my mental age, which is like fucking 75. The screeners for like ADHD and autism and stuff, it generally like overestimates, because it's like it's attempting to like only have false positives, because it's like, well, if you score a certain high, then you can go get an assessment. It's I think the general yeah, the David Cronenberg movie, exactly. He tried to answer the lowest score as well. Well, there you go. So we're fairly evenly matched statistically. Vietnamese American, vast majority of immigrants were poor rural people. Yeah, the boat people, yeah. Yeah, it's less, I mean, that's the impression people have of Cuban immigrants too, which is they're all like former bourgeois, which is not true. It can't be true at a population level. Where's the autism? That was what was that specific one? It's the RADS R. I checked there are some papers that talk about it. Here, the RADS R. It doesn't actually seem all that good at determining it. If you have a pretty high score, well, one of the things I will say as well is like, if you want to get a diagnosis, there should be a reason for it, I guess. Like if your life is like with Hassan, for instance, like Hassan probably isn't at a diagnostic level because he's fine in his life. Like it doesn't severely impact his ability to live his life. So he's probably doesn't qualify for a diagnosis. So it's like complicated. I think that's generally the metric you want to think of. Like, is this severely or in some significant way impacting my ability to like socialize, like have friends? The other like hold a job, for instance, because a lot of autistic people don't have full employment. It's like quite common. And you also could just like look at resources. If you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'm autistic, I don't want to spend the money. There are like books and stuff. There's content. They're like, here's, yeah. And then if it helps you, it's like, well, that's great, you know. The label, there's a lot of like self-ID discourse, and it's kind of silly because it's a constructed, I think it's generally what I call it, like it's a constructed label or concept where it's like people who fall into this rubric, generally their lives are better if we give them these sort of guidelines. That's like the sort of purpose of it. I know that it can also be a liability for immigration for like autism. ADHD, for instance, there's a very clear reason why you want to diagnose this. Like I have an ADHD diagnosis and I have meds and it helps a lot. There's no like, in terms of like autism, there's no like med. So it's complicated. It's my issue there. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's helpful. Yeah, like wouldn't recommend getting officially diagnosed unless there's like benefits. Yeah. Right. Like especially with like kids, it's easier to conceive of like there might be a benefit. The Adam Friedland episode, isn't Destiny banned? I did watch it. It's quite funny. That's why fucking Comtown videos were being recommended in my YouTube. I was like, why am I getting these? Why am I getting the Bernie Sanders town hall bit from 5 years ago or whatever? I mean, it is funny to see with Destiny that like he does seem intimidated by someone like Adam Friedland because he can make fun of him. Like that's like the main axis of like, you know, I mean, it's all very silly. Adam is a very funny guy. Yeah. I do love the bit with Destiny where he's like, yeah, I finally started reading like a couple years ago because I have my ADHD meds. Does that emote? I mean, a little bit. Like, not really. I don't think, like, really. The call they had before where Destiny didn't realize Adam's shtick was much funnier. As we're just, yeah. No, it is a good one. I haven't really watched the Adam Friedland show at all. It seems fine. But that one was good. It's funny how big the guests they get are. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson went on. That one always fucks with me, just the concept of those two people existing in the same Jesse's very grating, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's found like the thing that works for him, which is arguing with people online. There's Chris Cuomo on it. That's so funny. Chris Cuomo went on Adam Friedland show. Hooray, Cillian, thank you for the tier 1. That's awesome. G falls back to Surprisingly well produced. I guess it makes sense. They had a lot of money. One thing I have been watching a lot is the Stavi show, which is why I wanted to, honestly, the inspiration for why I wanted to do like an advice segment thing. I will say that we haven't gotten that many, and a lot of them are boring.
I am gay.
So we don't have enough at the moment. Neon Bronze, thank you for the prime. There's a form. I'll link the form again. Because a lot of them, it's just like, this happened in my life. I've graduated and I don't know what to do. Any advice? And it's like, no, it's gotta be content, okay? If you want to submit, it's text or you can send a vocal, like a audio. Audio is preferred because it's funnier. But you gotta be cheating on your polycule. Exactly. Form in the Discord. I think there's a couple. I haven't looked at them. My girlfriend is looking through them for me because I want to not see them. But she said there was a couple good ones, but that it was mostly boring. So don't lie, or if you're gonna lie, make it believable. But make sure it's interesting in some way. Because I'm not actually good at giving life advice. That's not what we're doing here. I don't think so. I don't imagine so. Maybe I am. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, so that's maybe we'll make a command or something. I don't know how to do that. My son is guilty of some criminal offense and I have the chance to pardon him, but I promise not to. That was okay. He pardoned a bunch of people and people were mad about it, weren't they? Because like a couple of them were evil. But wasn't that like actually good? Like my understanding is that he pardoned people who were let off because of who had compassionate temporary release because of COVID and had integrated into the community, whatever the fuck that means. And it was like, well, you're doing fine, whatever. I think that's probably good. Like, it would be weird to single people out. Is that a hot take? Maybe I'm just a prison abolitionist. People can't handle actually existing prison abolitionism. I think that was the logic, right? Was it just everyone who it was everyone who was let out on compassionate release during COVID? I mean, he should have let more people out, like Don Secure. Is that how you pronounce it? Abolitionist prax. I mean, he did pardon proportionally quite a bit of people, like a lot more than I think, like Trump did, right? That's probably, I don't know. He should pardon Luigi. Well, I guess he can't yet because he's like Luigi. He might. This is gonna be okay. The CEO stuff. We're back. I was super worried, and I was dooming. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a weird, like he's gonna be like a Ted Kaczynski freak guy, and the manifesto is gonna come out, which was not a manifesto, by the way. So shout out Ken Clipperstein for actually fucking releasing it. Because it's so normal. It's so aggressively normal. And I had to, I'm writing a piece about it with all the stuff that's happening. And I had to change it because it was like, oh yeah, no, this is like, it's so, because he clearly is a bit of a weirdo, a freak in terms of his politics. As is as is any 26-year-old who has a donkey quote in his fucking yearbook, high school yearbook. Like for his photo. But the photo or the manifesto was literally just like, I don't know that much about politics. Other people have worded this in a better way about like universal healthcare. Something needed to stop. Something needed to change. And that's like, so the least American thing that I would like possible is to take this moment and be like, I don't know. I don't know how this works. Like that's American. That's like the most American thing is you kill a guy and then you're like, here's my theory. Here's how it all comes together. Um, I think that's like oddly like he gave a lot of respect to this moment. In his high school yearbook, he had a donkey quote. Yeah, like he's like you. If you're like 26 and you're like, oh, I know what r/political compass is, and I know who Drag is. Like that is you. Like the soup swim like in his brain is the same as yours functionally. Which is weird to think about, but it's like very, yeah, I don't know, extremely commendable. So we're back basically. I thought he was gonna do the weird, here are my fucking strange ideas about how we need to return to tradition and how that's no longer possible, and so we need to accelerate the process. And Nick Land and fucking Ted Kaczynski and the woke cathedral, which is I'm sure vaguely what he probably believes, maybe, at least in terms of his online presence. People were trying to do the thing of like, he's pretty normal. It's like, no, he's not. His politics are probably not normal. I find that very difficult to believe. No, he said that Ted K, like, he didn't like the civilian killing civilian thing, but that he showed like violence, it works. And there's an irony because like, well, it's not an irony. It's not. It's the opposite of ironic. Is like the effect of he has already had a very positive effect on like healthcare, right? There's a couple things that like large healthcare companies, which is interesting, were doing, that were insane and evil that they've reversed. Like there were a couple headlines about that. So you know, violence never works except all of the times that it has worked. But let's not think about those. Let's think about the few times where nonviolence was the one that worked. Like India. The reason why India is not attached to Britain is because of nonviolence. That's the one reason. Let's not look at any of the other stuff going on. That was it. That was the one. Riots really achieves long-term goals? I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, I do think propaganda of the deed is like naive. But no, I don't think that's true at all. I think decolonization was broadly a product of violence. Is the concept of European power over the African continent like a short-term goal? Like of severing European power from the African continent? Is that a short-term goal? Just off the top of my head? I mean, I feel like there's so many long-term goals you can look at that had like a necessarily violent component to it. Airbot, thank you.
I am gay.
It is interesting though that like the rich in America, like the healthcare CEOs, like they're just briefly introduced to like the concept of propaganda of the deed, like a little bit, and they're like, oh fuck, oh shit, okay, fuck, you know, because it is. I mean, it is functionally propaganda of the deed, which like was a very big problem. Like, I think someone said this in the chat before, but like we are like, what are we in late Tsarist Russia now? Like they did some like Russian anarchists were cooking. They got some pretty significant. They killed a czar, did they not? Alexander, was it Alexander the Third? They got his ass. Was he the one who was killed? They bombed his ass, yeah. Like they killed some pretty high up, and far more than that. And it really fundamentally shook, I think, the Russian aristocracy. It's yeah, no, Lenin was not fond of it. And you could argue this component, yeah, like it's less effect. It's clearly doing something though. Victoria 3 Better Politics mod. What do they have? Because I know that like the Victoria's Free Base movement, the anarchists they don't like kill you, right? Or maybe they do. Is there an event for like anarchist insurrection where they have a propaganda deep mechanic? That's cool. Because it was like compared to like the anarchist movement in terms of like the broader labor movement in America or Russia. I guess Russia is the main one. I mean, I guess it was all over Europe and North America and South America too. Like the labor movement is much larger, but the ruling class had a much more intimate sort of thing to fear from propaganda of the deed from the anarchists. You can argue it had less of a strong effect than like the broader labor movement, but it certainly, I don't know, we're sort of in, the left is sort of at a point in history where they're like a 16-year-old boy. And you know, like I was thinking about this before, maybe it's not just, maybe like grown men do this too, but like, you ever see like a teenage boy, a group of teenage boys just like destroying something for the sake of doing it? Where it's like they can't like comprehend fully what they're doing, but they're like, I did this and I exist because of it. Like it's like they can sort of not comprehend what they're doing. I'm describing them like they're a child, but it's a very childish thing. I do this, yeah, it's quite common where it's like I destroyed a thing and I can comprehend that I exist through it. Like it's like I'm making an impact on the world. Smeesh, thank you for the tier 1. Like that's where the American left is. Because it was arguably not even done, probably not particularly done by the American left. I do wonder what his politics, what Luigi's politics are going to be, now that he understands the weight of his action. And now it's not just like a theoretical, like, I'm posting on r/political compass. Because you could make a point like, oh yeah, Zoomer ideology is super melted because it's like, well, we're not doing anything. It's like all theoretical and funny. You go on a Discord server and you debate or whatever. But that's it. But that when it becomes a thing of like your life, that it might straighten some people out. If that becomes a thing. Like Stuff in My Woods and Breaking is a classic dollar activity. Yeah, like people love that. I'm from Twitter. It's possible. It's entirely possible. But yeah, it's interesting the shift there because I was so worried about him doing Ted Kaczynski stuff, and now it seems like he's taking the gravity of the situation seriously, and he's just being like, yeah, I don't know politics that much, but this has to end. And it seems to have done something. Like discussions of how effective is propaganda aside, like it is a thing that has an effect. I don't know. I'm writing a piece about this because I want some sort of measured, like, I don't know. It's not that I don't want people to be too excited. It's that I want people to understand what they're doing. Cuomo and Adam Friedland on Dua Lipa.
I like Dua Lipa.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. My daughter is a
I
singer.
would let her.
And she would sing Dua Lipa. And I love what she does.
I don't know her
some
songs.
people will say, oh no, too sexy, it objectifies. But I'm telling you, I watched my daughter and her kind of resonating with the vibe, you know, and the empowerment principle of it.
I don't know the songs,
I loved it.
I would let her shit in my mouth.
Where does that come from? Seriously. Where does it come from?
I don't know, it just came out. I don't know.
Where? Like, did you see that somewhere? Or
it wouldn't even be pleasant if she did that.
It absolutely would not be pleasant.
I'm just saying, I would do the worst thing ever to be with her.
It's great. That's very... It just came out. Is the point of that is they don't know what they're getting themselves into. So I remember like when the podcast was called Come Town, like one of their big gets was like, what the fuck is that weirdo's name? The like former Verso Books guy they fired. Canceling comedians while the world burns is another tangential annoying guy. Doug Lane, who is now doing shit like complaining that AOC is talking about like Elon Musk sexually harassing her and being like, sorry, you bourgeois capitalist politician, it's freedom of speech. This is a complete fucking weirdo. But he went on, like, that was like a Cumtown guest. That was like a thing. So it clearly shedding the podcast label. Remember Doug Lane? He went on. Remember he complained about Jonas. Now CCK philosophy on getting way more views than him on YouTube. He was like so mad about that because he would always just get like 4,000 or 5,000 views. And they would all be about Slavoj Žižek because he's like, that's the only reason anyone's clicking on this video is because of Žižek. And what would Žižek say about the fucking universe, Bernie Sanders? You know, like, he didn't own VersoBooks, but he was a part of it. I don't know. It's was it Verso or was it the other one? It was Verso, wasn't it? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's not someone you have to worry about anymore. I guess it's not. It's 0 books. Sorry, you're right. Which is different. And now it's not. No, it got bought out by Verso, right? Didn't it? Was that the one that happened? He's no longer a part of it, which is funny. No, it wasn't bought out by Cosmonaut, was it? I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, it's just getting owned. It's just okay. Yeah, because they have Mark Fisher's. No. Okay, I can't remember. This is a Biden count because this is something I should know. It's embarrassing. I don't know why those things are up mixed in my head. Got bought up by a repeater. Okay, thank you. And 0 has Fisher, not Verso. Verso is much bigger. It was so they were like putting memes on Mark Fisher books, which I guess isn't like, it's not like Fisher, it's like, oh, he's above memes. It's just like they sucked. Like they just awful. It was like, this isn't, I understand this is current, but it just looks like you don't want that on your fucking bookshelf. It doesn't. The like, are you winning, son? And then he's crying on the floor because he's like, oh, we can't imagine a world without capitalism. And it's like, what are we doing here? No, it's not. It's unfortunate. But I think it changed and they're less cringe now. Although they're still not doing well, I guess, which is unfortunate. Oh, and then the Kill All Normies. I haven't actually read that fully. What happened to her? Is she still? Because that was like, she was like the 4chan whisperer. Oh, and then she was one of the leftist case against open borders. Yeah, okay. That feels like I mean, there still is that component, but that feels like it's a weird like remnant of a slightly earlier time. I don't know. I guess maybe Trump coming back, they're gonna those sort of assholes you're gonna have to see them again. Being like the leftist case for mass deportations or whatever. You're talking about your involvement in the Hawk Tuah coin. We're currently under there's a legal settlement that is currently happening. I'm not free to speak about that at the moment. Left case against open borders is mainly about employing cheap immigrant labor to undermine union organizing. But I guess the point is like, and I remember in the thing they like poorly misquote a thing about Irish immigrants from Marx. Oh, I guess it's TYT now. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe the left isn't gonna. Maybe the left isn't gonna do that sort of thing. Um, maybe it's just like the lib alternative media stuff, because that's gonna start being a thing. Yeah, because I think we're probably just gonna assume that Dems are gonna abandon any minority they can. I mean, they already abandoned immigrants. They seem to be making the move about trans people. Um, which I would say, like, I don't like especially if you're just broadly queer. It's like one of the important components of representative democracy is that if someone like stops representing your interests, you don't vote for them until they do. If they feel the heat, like they will run back to you. It's like compact, I guess, but the compact mag is like not. Are they still like trying to do the left, right, like leftist case for abolishing age of consent laws? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't read the full. Yeah, I'm sure. The LDS Dem guy was awesome. Ensif, thank you. Hello.
I am gay.
Well, Dems understand representative democracy, but they just thought they had enough of a monopoly. They didn't need to like actually care about their coalition. I don't know. Maybe they'll be reminded. Cenk is weird and a sellout. I mean, I guess I guess the motivation is different than like the cultural landscape, because if it's like space for that is given, it's because there's a market for it. Actually, one sec. It's a little hot in my room. I'm gonna. I cranked the heat up too much. Yeah, I don't know if it's a grift for Cenk. I think they believe it. Hello, JC Poirier. Also called Republican. Yeah. I don't know if there's enough room for the socialist case for Donald Trump. The cultural space for that is MAGA communism, I think. In the same way that like, I don't know, were there like, it's a different cultural landscape, but like 2007 Bush, there weren't guys who were like, as a member of the Communist Party, like, here's why Bush, like, you kind of lost that. Maybe we'll get it a bit during the honeymoon period for Trump, but I don't. He's gonna get cooked. I don't know if he's gonna go through with the. I guess no one does. I don't even think he does. Whether he's gonna go through with the tariffs. There's now a weird, like, the Canadian Conservatives are being put in an odd position where. Oh, I'll allow this. Thank you, JC Poirier. Oh, the drones. Honestly, I haven't looked that much into the drones. Because I just see it and I'm like, this is stupid, right? It's like stupid people doing stupid stuff. Like, that's our opinion. Like, people are like, we don't know where these drones are coming from. And it's like, the ground? Probably. I don't know. Somewhere. Like, it's not hard to fly a drone. Like, it's not. The most insane thing was the congressman, right? The Republican congressman who was like, there's an Iranian mothership. Which mothership? It's like, so it's like it's a big drone and it's dropping off the small drones. Is that Umbria? Thank you for the prime. I
am gay.
Bluebell, thank you for the 4 months. There's a hype train if you'd like to subscribe. I doubt it's like a unified phenomena, I feel like. Because when someone points it out, other people will start looking. Probably I don't know, like, does there have to be an answer to where the drones are coming from? Like, I don't think so. Yeah, is Iran fucking Protoss? They're constructing a like, is there a proxy Stargate in New Jersey?
I'm gay. I am a guy who wants to screw
Thank
guys.
you, Anonymous. Like, are we worried that, like, Iran is gonna, like, beam in a sentry up our, like, ramp to our base and then cut it off? Or something? Like, we're gonna get, like, 2-base sentry immortal rush.
I am boosted.
Thank you. Thank you, sexual. I am boosted. What is that a reference to? Is that a lingo I'm not familiar with? All the kids are getting boosted. New trend of kids. What would getting boosted mean, do you think? I feel like that would just be like galaxy gas. Like helium or something. No, galaxy gas isn't helium. Nitrous, that's it. That sounds like what getting boosted would be. Several portals to hell. Magazines entirely possible of a wormhole. What makes you think? Oh, like Elo boosted. Oh, of course. Who amongst us has not been boosted? Invite me to Trump's inauguration. I hope so. Trump's gonna give me a press pass. And it's like any questions, during the you know that guy who, like, or sometimes it's the lady, usually with Trump it's like a blonde lady. Press secretary. That's the one. It's like, any questions, and I just ask Liv Agar. And then she has to make her response. I don't know what the Trump administration would have to say to Liv Agar. I did watch Destiny and the Adam Friedland show. It was funny. What is the name for a girl kitten? Is this an actual kitten, or is this like, are we speaking in metaphors? There was one cat that I liked from someone I was seeing, whose name was Sushi, and I like that name for a cat. Oh, it's this. I forgot about this.
And I'm gay. Logan Paul is my savior. KSI is my favorite. I want to watch Lil Nas X. I like what's on the trending page. Prawn is good. Beat my meat. Lock me down. Inject me. Inject
He's
again.
so stupid.
I'm gay, trans, and I am boosted.
Oh, I'm boosted, right?
Fauci is my savior. Hillary is woke. She-Hulk is my favorite movie. Yes, yes, good. I'll stay inside. I'll take another one. Pork on the devil. Ha 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 ha.
Oral six pack, thank you.
Yes.
50 seconds left for the hype train if you'd like to give me money. I see. That's true. That's also true of me. I did just get. His writing is this fire. I did get boosted like a month ago. Also, I think I found out why my throat is sore. This is why streaming makes you a narcissist. Because, like, I can just tell you this. It's not interesting. And no one in chat is going to be like, I don't actually give a fuck why your throat is sore. It's like, wow, interesting. It's not good for you. But apparently, I think my throat is sore because for some reason, my mouth is dry when I'm sleeping. I got this, like, tablet that dissolves in your mouth. My mom gave me. It's leaning in and nodding and smiling. Yeah, exactly. So, like, it, like, activates your salivary gland or something. It makes you, when you're sleeping. And I did it, and then my throat wasn't sore this morning. So, Mom, if you're watching, They work. So thank you. Is also why I had trouble like swallowing sometimes when I was eating. You don't choke on it because it like sticks to your gum. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I actually don't know what it's called. I need to go look it up. Um, I think that's the reason. I don't know. Maybe it's Vyvanse. It's not a Zyn. Yeah. Does Zyn, is that a product that makes you salivate more? Zyn is like a new thing, right? Like they didn't. I know that people had nicotine gum when I was in like high school, which I thought was like it's like just smoke cigarettes. That's the Live Agar the Live Agar advice. Just smoke cigarette. Like why are we're taking gum? Like you should take Zyn if you're trying to quit. Is that crazy? Is that a bad thing to say to children? I guess I hope if you're not a child if you're watching this. It's just a cleaner version of dipping tobacco. Does that fuck with your mouth? Yeah, because dipping tobacco, it like ruins, it like really fucks with your... There's no way it's gum. There's no way that that's true. It's not like dip. Yeah, because I know people who did, and it's like, you're fucked. Like, yeah, that's not good for you. Well, I'm sure we know it's bad because it's nicotine. I guess the worst part of nicotine is the smoking bit. Dip is so niche. Is that true? I guess it's niche now, maybe. I mean, that one's real. That's like the worst. It's like, you know what? It would be cool if this was like you're smoking cigarettes and you're like, it would be cool if this was gross, like more gross and also worse for me and less cool. But yeah, I mean, broadly, you shouldn't do them at all because it sucks to be addicted to nicotine. Um, that is the real Vicar advice. And if you have like ADHD, it's way worse. Zyn is woke liberal bullcrap. That's what I've been saying. Honestly, it's way worse if you have ADHD. It makes it harder to quit substances. I vape to quit. Isn't okay because vaping initially was like we're doing this because it's not as bad as smoking, but it's like worse, isn't it? Like smoking or vaping nicotine is like real bad. It would be cool if you could turn smoking into a slime that gave you gum cancer and you had to spit it out. No way. I guess we don't know. It's like the Rittenhouse meme where it's like women will be like, stop vaping in front of my baby. And it's like, first of all, it's not smoke, it's some other shit. Second of all, science doesn't even understand the consequences of doing it. Did Tucker make an anti-woke Zyn competitor? Do they actually believe Zyn is woke? It'd be funny if it was dip. Like it was just the worst, most disgusting. That's amazing. He's so cooked. It was so funny, like he still clearly has an effect on like the right. It was so funny like 2-3 years ago when it was like Tucker Carlson is like the America's right-wing demagogue. He has like a control on the nation. Now it's like he streams on X or whatever. You won't even let me go into this. Velo. Launches ALP nicotine products. That's great. That's how you know you're doing really well. Is when you have to watch I can't believe it's not, Zyn. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's crazy. Do you think that guy was like falling out of who jumped out of the World Trade Center was like, one day I'll be a gingerbread man. Some guy's gonna make me into a gingerbread guy. I probably not. I don't think so. I doubt that's what he was thinking. Launchpad episode about Tucker. Oh yeah, and so speaking of knowledge fight, so at work the onion is cooked. Like it didn't buy InfoWars. The judge rejected it. It's over. Or they're gonna try again, maybe. We're cooked. Block the winning bid by satirical media outlet Onion. Oh, it's top of the hour. It's time for ads. If you don't want the ads, you should give me money. And then you won't get them. We can't have anything good, apparently. It's over. Auction called for a sealed rather than running as a live auction. Oh, so he had. Oh, that's silly. Matt Kalak, thank you for the prime. So it was for like another reason. It wasn't like, oh, we don't want the onion. We don't like what the onion's doing. Neither, thank you for the prime. Because it was a sealed auction. So the judge didn't like that it was a sealed auction. Darn. It's over. In my country, in France, right? Did Macron appointed a centrist prime minister? Was that what happened recently? You have a complaint. What happened? Sealed auction, but then you made a deal that wasn't sealed because it required the input of Xanax families. Oh. I saw this. The thing about all of these is like, welp. Like, it's like, what do you think about this? Well, that can't be good. Surely that's not a good result. Surely we're not happy about this. I don't know. That's the problem. It's like, I don't know. I mean, could they? Maybe. Could the thing that's happening that we're all thinking? Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I can't go. You just go to Blue Sky. Because I'm on there as well. At Live Agar. Would you be surprised to find that it's at Live Agar? When's the advice column? I don't know. As when we get enough good answers. Here's the form. You should ask me for advice for it, but make it interesting. I'm not just giving generic advice. It's not actually good advice. Or maybe it is, I don't know, but that's not the purpose of it. I totally buy Sam Altman pro Michael. Well, it is funny because like you look at like what Sam Altman says about LLMs. And, like 5 years ago, it was like, we're gonna make a scan of your we're gonna like look at your mother's text messages and then produce like a completely coherent version of her that you can talk to after she dies. And if you look at like what he's saying now, he's like, like if you don't want to do your homework and you're in like first year humanities course, you can ask it and it'll do it for you. It's like, it talks. It's so funny how cooked they are. No, it's just me. It'll just be for this stream. You have his Dogecoin? I don't think I think it's been. I think there was a time. Honestly, it's still doing. I guess because of the election, it's still up there. It's not quite at its peak, right? It used to be like $1. How much was it? No, not quite. But I think this is probably as much as it's gonna be. So you might end up like what is that, like Isaac Newton lost a bunch of money on stocks? Um, where's the photo? It's very funny. It makes you feel better if this happened to you. Newton invests a little bit. Newton exits happy. Newton's friends get rich. Renters with a lot. Newton exits broke. It happens. So this is where Dogecoin ends right now, I think. It'd be funny if it collapses because the Senate refuses to make it a department. Because I guess, I think the point of it is they don't want to actually make it a proper department. Should I buy? Absolutely. This is investment advice. I'm legally liable. They want it to be like a fake department. Isn't that kind of the point? Like, it's like they want it to be like a think tank. Right? Like, isn't that their goal? So they wouldn't even have to ask. Like, it's gonna be some fake thing that like kind of allows Elon to be like a government official that goes on like state sanctioned trips, but like where he's not quite liable in a way that a government official is. I think that's probably their goal. Yeah, they don't want oversight. Yeah, he could get FOIA'd if it was a real department too, yeah. And he clearly doesn't want that, so yeah. It's gonna be all fake and stupid. I guess it's as Candace Owens says, fake and gay. It's funny that like they brought that back just to be homophobic, I guess. Like saying fake and gay. Um the right is very good at doing memes. Yeah, why not? Sure. Um it's all 4chan shit, yeah. Probably find that Elon Musk computer to have direct lines to the White House. Yeah, sure, it's okay. Let's not. It's totally fine. Ever walked out of a movie? I would when I was watching episode, is it 9 of Star Wars, the last one? Um, it's 9, right? Yeah. Um, I would have walked out if I wasn't with my family when it turned out that fucking Palpatine was back, and then he raised all the fucking ships. Like that's the only time I've been in a theater where I was like, that's just insulting to me. Like you should honestly, when you're watching movies, especially blockbuster movies, you should feel insulted all the time. Joki's team, thank you for the prime, because they are insulting your intelligence continually. But that one, it's like really, really like I don't. Shaking my head in the theater so everyone knows that I don't appreciate this writing move. Last Jedi is great. I think it's the only redeemable Star Wars film after. I mean, no, I like Rogue One. I rewatched Rogue One. I told you all I liked it. Like the last like serial Star Wars film that was redeemable after Episode 6. I understand people like 1, 2, and 3, and I did grow up on them, so I'm biased in the opposite direction. But they are just not good. Like it's just not. They're not good. It's not a good. It's woke because the Black Star Trooper. Yeah. The Black Stormtrooper. Um. Fucking pronouns. Yeah, all of the anti-woke Star Wars people are awesome because they just tell you that they're stupid. Like they don't even like. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you think like, what was that one guy who was watching Andor and he was like, I was rooting for the Corpos and Andor. And it's like, you're so fascist that like you can't fully be swayed by like the way that a film wants to emotionally like manipulate you, make you feel for a certain character. Like, but I love the sniveling worm who's like going above and beyond to enforce imperial authority for no fucking reason. So much. Filthy Jazz, thank you for the prime. Favorite crazy tag, thank you. Cyril, which is such a good character. Cyril is so cool. Both sides of the Force have good points. Isn't that basically the point of The Last Jedi? If you think about it. I like any content. It was like KOTOR, like the Knights of the Old Republic, where it's like, look, maybe the Jedi aren't all that cool. Like, this is a weird theocratic order. Andor's about how violence works. Yeah. Which I guess, like, you know, Star Wars was never a thing. You know what's actually funny? I didn't realize until, like, last week, because I learned about these two things in the opposite order, so I didn't put it together, that, like, Star Wars is an analogy for the late Roman Republic. Like, that's why it's the Empire and the Republic. I don't know why that didn't process. One of the reasons, I think, is because I played a bunch of, like, Star Wars The Old Republic stuff where there is, like, an empire and there is a republic at the same time. So it kind of confuses it. But the point is that it's the republic turns into an empire and then it centralizes. It's pretty I mean, that's where I guess the word empire comes from. And I get the word republic too, I guess. Although I don't know, is that a Greek? Like empire clearly is the Latin etymology, like imperium. Strong bad hero, thank you for the raid. Thank you. And Angelor, thank you. What is the republic etymology? It's Latin, right? Yeah. Res publicus, right. Entity of the people. The concept, I guess, is in Latin because is the early? Yeah, I guess it is. Surely it is influenced by the Greek city-states, like very early Roman Republic, because they would have had the Hellenic influence because of the settlers, I guess. I don't know why I don't know that. Well, what is republic in Greek? Like, how would you say? Oh, I don't know Greek. Is it republikos? Oh, so it is Greek. I was right. Wait. Oh, it's polis. I see. Yeah.
Politia.
Politia. No, it is. Okay. That makes sense. I don't know why I looked that up on stream. But yeah, I didn't realize that Star Wars was an analogy for the late Roman Republic, which feels extremely absurdly obvious. When you look at it in retrospect. What did I start talking about this? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways. The shooter guy. I guess we kind of talked about him. We'll be able to. Does anyone know how the law works? Like, will he be making? I guess the trial is gonna last a long time and it'll be public. Smoothest segue of all time. Let's see you take a crack at it, wise guy. Mr. Luigi's Mansion. I do wonder how much public statements he will be making throughout this. Anti-woke Star Wars clip.
Hyperspace, you
Oh, this is goated. This one is so cool. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about these idiots.
ask? Good question. I probably should have started with that. The truth, what is hyperspace, you ask? Good question. I probably should have started with that. The truth is, we don't fully know. The best explanation I can gather is that hyperspace is some sort of fourth dimension that exists parallel to ours and still interacts with ours, but in which you are able to move through space much, much faster. It's a bit ethereal and vague, but that's honestly to its benefit. If it were Disney writers inventing hyperspace, then the galaxy would be female, and the hyperspace lanes would be her fallopian tubes. We would all be eggs within Mother Galaxy's womb, and you'd have to ask for consent before ovulating your ship through her hypertubes. Otherwise, it would be space sexual assault.
Yep, that's right. Because they make it woke. See, there's a whole like influencer like infrastructure economy of just those videos of just guys who are like, well, Disney made it woke. And by the way, it's so funny. They all love the prequels. It's so interesting how that changed. How like for so long the Star Wars fans, it was like the same Star Wars fans, because all you guys are like 45. We're like, oh, fucking George Lucas ruined my childhood. You killed my childhood. I hate you. You're evil. And then they just forgot about that, I guess. And now they're like, well, it's cool, but at least there wasn't a black guy. Wait, there was. At least there wasn't women who were doing lightsabers. Oh, it's very confused. Hassan kept opening Asmongold's chat during the Game Awards to see the reactions, the games with women protagonists. That was something I was thinking of. I didn't watch the Game Awards at all. My only takeaway was that the Balatro orchestral theme was really cool, and I'm sad that it didn't win Game of the Year. Although I wasn't putting my hopes up. But it is funny to think of guys who like want to jerk off to the games they play. This is the reason why I realized that all of those guys are like 18, is because Pornhub released their like yearly stats thing. Like every year they'll do like a wrapped thing where it's like, this category is more popular now. And if you look at Gen Z, I posted about this. I tweeted about this. If you look at Gen Z, like they have differences of like which category is more common in which generation. And obviously transgender is Gen X. It's most common Gen X. I already knew that. I could have already seen that from my dating app. Likes. But if you look at like Zoomers, like it's so melted. Vertical video is so interesting that only Zoomers want the vertical video, because usually people like, but it's like, no, I want it to be like it's a Snapchat or whatever, I guess. And then gaming, just gaming, is 151% more common among Gen Z. Vertical video is like a video. I have my phone right here. It's like a video that takes up the whole screen this way instead of horizontally. Which I guess makes sense if you think, like, I guess there's nothing wrong with the vertical video. Like, it makes sense. I don't know what, okay, safer work is very strange. Music, I'm not quite sure what that would, I guess it's stuff with music. I guess, like, people want, I don't know. Category popularity. Right, I see. That makes actually, that does make it more sense. That does make it less weird than searching gaming. It is interesting though, still. So this is why I'm convinced that all the people who are like, well, the gaming character isn't fuckable, it's like because they jerk off to them. Like they're like, I want to play a game and then I want to go on Pornhub and search like this character, sex video. I don't know what safe for work porn would look like. I guess it's just like clothed women. Like what category? What is safe for work? Like if two women are kissing, or like a guy and are kissing, is that safe for work? It's like, oh, it's like twerking videos. Hey, look, it's safe for work. Surely I can watch. Yeah, that makes sense. Models that are, but are they having sex? Like, is it like you said, but you can't see the like it's like a movie where it like zooms up and then they're under the, you know. It's a Mormon style. Just the concept of safe for work is a term. It's so interesting how it's evolved. It's more like Instagram models. I see. And it's just videos of them. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. That explains it. Your response explains it. Because it's like, well, yeah, it's funny. That's actually a lot more normal than I thought it was. That's far more normal. That's actually a very normal. Well, no, but it's weird again. No, I forgot. I forgot it's weird. Because apparently, like, guys will just jerk off to, like, photos of clothed women. I was gonna say, like, oh, there's some sense of, like, the erotic. It's not just, like, I want to see everything. I want, you know. It's like, oh, there's a erotic subtlety to it. Of, like, I like the fact that I can't see everything. And that there's a... Which feels more normal and human. And not just, like, your brain is fried by, like... Just give me, computer, give me 10 million boob photos. But no, it's back. It's warped back around to being weird. I think. I don't know. The boomer is funny. Boomer is so funny. Boomer is awesome, dude. Because vintage, sure, but strap on plus 36. 36 is actually not that much. Stop. We need to play that song now. I need to, after I'm done this. That is also a perspective. This is plus 36. This is plus 390%. The smallest one is a plus 100. So, I think I can look like end of the year stats. Like these are safe for work. Like there's no actual like it's on Pornhub.com, which makes me feel uncomfortable in terms of like. I think these photos like it's like they're photo of models, but they have their clothes on or it's like cam panned up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Also, where is it? Go up here. They had a transform performer section, and Oomph is top 5. Shout out to Noah. That's cool. Oh yeah, Pornhub is evil. I know. I'm just fascinated by like people's sex opinions, and especially not opinions like their habits. Gen Y, which I guess I'm a millennial now. Like fuck me. It's FMM, which is I think my fault. Sorry. Tatted women, popular with women is funny. I guess just the concept of I guess it's not I guess you're not searching the concept of fetish. It's something that's categorized as fetish. Parody, I don't know what that is. What's FF? What's if? Never. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I guess it is in the category of fetish. It's not someone searching. I like the idea of someone who's just like, give me some fetish stuff. Like I don't care what. I want something. Like porn parody. Oh, like the Nayland Palin. I remember people were talking about it was like it's like Sarah Palin, which is kind of gross if you think about it. Like that is very gross, right? Like, oh, it's basically like jerking off to this woman who doesn't want you to jerk off to her. Makes you think. But then obviously Gen X, transgender. The blonde, that's funny. The one, the most profound one though is Gen Z, because if you look, it's misleading because of the way the graph works. But these are way more specific things. Gen Z porn habits, they are very different, and I'm sure part of that is an age thing. Of like when these specific Gen Z get older, they are not going to still be jerking off to gaming videos or whatever. But like that is clearly like plus 100 here. Like this is a plus 60 difference. Like there's clearly a difference. And the vertical video, I guess, is like Snapchat. Like people send nude videos and photos of each other enough that you're like, I want to like replicate that. And people don't bother fucking doing this. They're recording like this. What does gaming mean? I guess it's just probably animated stuff of like gaming characters having sex. Because it would be different than cosplay. Maybe it's similar. I don't know how they get the stats. I could not tell you. I want to say, what were the categories? Most viewed categories of 2024. This is great news. The -1 transgender. That's great news for me. It's like people are. It's not getting more intense. The like weird obsession. Like people get it. They know. They're aware of it. We're not still in the like. If you found out, have you guys heard about this thing? What is popular with women? I don't know. The Hassan Piker Twitch stream is that's the. I don't know. I honestly would assume it's probably like a lot of lesbian stuff. Maybe like softcore. I guess it's just what women watch more. I guess that's probably how they track it. What are the funny like big pluses? French is funny. Plus 12. I guess at this point it's like there's a statistical, you know. But okay, I need to. Now that I gotta play this just for the.
Yeah. What? When you met, praise God every day. Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. What? Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. Yeah. Stop jerking off. What? Stop jerking off.
Why is he so happy? I feel like he should be angry saying this.
The word of God. Put your hand on that Bible and stop jerking off. Take your hand out your pants. That's a sin. This is not no game. You can't let the devil win. If you like the God, let the Holy Spirit in. If you don't, then this cycle ain't gonna never end. I thought you knew, huh?
You've been looking for the name of this song forever? Really? It was hard. You were like, I want to find the name of this song. I can't, like, what do I search?
Jesus died for me and for you.
I'm at a loss.
Every word he spoke is the truth. Don't believe me, read the Bible. That's the old and
you literally, like, I just searched stop jerking off. I didn't even.
Corinthians 6:18. What it say? Away from sexual immorality. That's right. Matthew 5:28. That's adultery. Follow Jesus Christ and you will be set free. Follow Jesus Christ is the only way. Pick up a Bible, pray to God, and put the porn away. It will set you free. Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. Stop. What? Stop.
I feel like the more interesting question than why are Christians bad at rap is why do so many of them try? Like despite that, because because like most people are not good at rap, right? But like they don't do it. Like that's the real fundamental difference with like the Christian influencers is they're all like, no, everyone wants to hear my song. No, this is like a real Christian influencer. I don't know why he's on a tricycle. The whole thing confuses me. My friend was a crying masturbator. Now he only reads Bible 24/7 after hearing this banger. Liked by Wavy Matt. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. But my takeaway from the stats are that things are the same as they used to be. I think everyone's pretty much there's not really many new sex things. Like, what did 2023 look like? I assume it's also fine. Another interesting thing I feel like, maybe my perception of this changed because I'm no longer a teenage boy. But like I feel like before, like especially like men or guys would reference like, oh, popular porn star. I feel like that's not the case anymore because I saw the list of all of the like top entertainers, the top and I'm like, I don't know any of these people. I couldn't tell you. I could not pick them out of a line. I don't know. Is it OnlyFans? I may be. Is that like that's like a change, right? I guess, yeah. I guess that makes you're less. It was more top down in terms of like what like actresses, models. I'm looking for the like were like talked about. Like I guess that's kind of. Is that fine? One of those photos is a little borderline. Oh, this is amateur. What is the? Like I don't know these ladies particularly. I know that one. Doesn't she Twitch stream now? Didn't she Mia Malkova, didn't she get like she did like a crypto rug pull? Angela Ray, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. I think that's probably a different thing. I guess that is a change. That's interesting. All right, what was it like for 2023? Yeah, I guess it's not all that. Because sometimes there's a weird. Oh yeah, she's the Riley Reid is the lady who said the N-word a bunch. That's yeah. Femboy plus 12. Yeah, that's definitely more a 23 thing than it is 2024. Let me search this. I know where I feel like 2023 was the. It was also interesting which countries like have different top categories. Where apparently Italy is like the worldwide top consumer of trans porn. Which I would not have expected. I would have thought it was Brazil. I think Brazil is number 2. Transgender is like Ferrari. And I like Ferrari. You all seen that video? That guy's awesome. Where is it? Oh, it's muted. Thank you.
Like when you drive one Ferrari. Only when you try it, you know the difference between a Ferrari or a normal car. Transgender is like Ferrari. And I like Ferrari.
Italian men are so funny. I can't, like, the delivery is so fucking good. I can't replicate it. He's so happy. Yeah, no, Italy was the top. It was the second most common category. Actually, I think it was less. Like, I remember in Canada, this is 2023. Transgender dropped out of the top 5, which I think is a good sign. Is there any context? I think it was just a video about guys who like transgender women. I think so. The other ones are like insane. I mean, they're all insane. It's like early aughts guy who's into trans women. Did they pronounce it testosterone? I don't believe that. That's ridiculous. Which country is the most goonies per capita? It's America, I think. I mean, Pornhub, I guess, is a very Anglo website, or at least from this, it's mainly America they get their data from. So maybe it's different elsewhere. I feel like the gooner phenomena is Anglo. Hassan Piker for men. Again, I feel like Hassan Piker is the Hassan Piker for men. I think he's cornered that market. I guess a portion of them, but I think purport. Yeah, I think so. Progesterone. Gooning is also, you think there's a high per capita gooner count in Japan? I think that's entirely possible. I think that's very possible. Gooner. Yeah. The French results are super funny, actually. The French results are especially funny. You shouldn't look at most of the regional stuff because it's like such a, like, all these are funny, but it's such a small variance that there isn't actually all that much of a difference for the relative search results. I don't think that's why they don't show the stats on these, because people, they want them to share it because it's funny. It's like, oh, Pennsylvania with naked women. Hot babes is awesome. Searching hot babes on Pornhub. Incredible. But I know with the French one, it's extra funny. Because all their searches are like they specifically, which this is a funny thing. It's because they're like proud. They're like, I don't want to hear disgusting English being spoken in my porn. Which is unlike, I know, like, I heard an anecdote about Swedish people, because like 90% of Swedes speak English. That like, for one couple, for a certain couple, like, English was their like fucking language, because they absorb sex through like English speaking porn. But no, the French are like, no. Je voudrais en femme français. It's just, orgasme français is such a funny search. Femme à lunettes. Infirmerie français is very funny too. Infirmière français. Very silly.
Burger. 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 Je le dis bien. Burger. 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 Nickel. Hot dog. Je triche à peine en plus, donc c'est vraiment génial. Nutella. Les gars, c'est le dernier. Oh les gars. Ok, on se concentre. Oreo.
Oh, that one's gonna be tough.
Oreo.
That's good. That's a hard sell.
Oreo.
Oh, she did it. That's funny. I should start playing those games. Is there any near crazy parkings? I haven't checked. Oh, I should get back into that. The people love crazy parking.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
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 No. Let's break it down. I would
Would
like.
The Rizzler did one of them. Can you link that? Because the Rizzler's no, the Rizzler isn't washed. No, the Rizzler is coded.
like
Two.
Toi.
Two.
Toi.
Two.
Toi.
Buy.
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 A.
A.
Hamburger.
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 Ham.
I don't even know the context of this. I can't remember.
All right. Kentopoulos.
Oh no.
All right. Kentopoulos.
Oh no. That's a hard. How old is the Rizzler? It's so funny that the Rizzler isn't even. Alex was telling me about this. Oliver wrote how obsessed he is with the Costco guys or whatever. And the fact that the Rizzler isn't even his son. He's just some other kid. Like he has some other parents who are I don't know what the fuck they're doing. He's 7 years old. Okay, I guess Kaleidoscope is hard for a 7-year-old. That's a hard sell.
All right. Kentopoulos.
That's awesome. The Rizzler, no child left behind. Yeah. Is he his nephew? Is that true? Oh, the Aiden Ross clip is awesome. This is actually a really instructive example of someone who is like unironically illiterate. Like Aiden Ross is illiterate. Like he's not able to read words.
What does a fascist mean? It means you are a far right authorization on ultra-analytic, oh my God, analyst, political ideology and movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God. I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mazzulli and Giviante Gentile and Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro?
I love that he thinks Jason Stanley is a fascist.
Never heard in my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo! All right, bro. See what I'm saying, chat? Like, this is why I don't fuck with y'all, bro. Like, dude, like, this is what the fuck I don't... Bro, I don't fuck with y'all, bro. I do not fuck with you guys, bro.
It's a very instructive... It's very instructive, like... Because when people think of someone who's illiterate, they think of someone who can't read at all. Who you give them a sentence that says, like, hello, my name is Liv. And they're like, I don't know what to do with this. But a lot of the times it's something like this, where they have a lot of shortcuts. But, like, I don't know, the way that you process, like, letters forming is just, like, faulty. Like, it's not the way that someone who is able to read does so. It signifies an inability to, like, take in information, I guess, about, like, because most human beings, most English speakers who can read this out and pronounce the words properly, right? Fascism is far as, you know, they can say it, and, like, even if they're not quite sure what an ultranationalist is, they can see ultra and nationalist. But yeah, and it's very common. Like, it's not. I would be on a high horse about it because Canada, I guess Canada's a bit better, but it's still pretty common in Canada too. A lot of people like I remember a long time ago I was watching Shark Tank as like a teenager, and someone in the thing, I don't know why they did, in their pitch they read out the American illiteracy stats of like, isn't it insane? It's not like half, it's like a quarter of like adult Americans are functionally illiterate. Dyslexics are not necessarily illiterate. No, I think it's a different it's a different phenomenon, and it's a different capacity, and it's treated in a different way. It's 40% read below 6th grade level. It's dropping everywhere. That's good to see. No, I didn't do French immersion. No, I would not have done well in that. My attention was so bad. I mean, it's still pretty bad. No, I would have been so owned in French immersion. It can cause illiteracy, right? I think the rates of literacy are much higher. Yeah, and then there's also like just a general problem with like dyslexia is considered a disability, right? Because we have an association with the phrase like mental disability. Yeah, but I guess it is. In terms of learning with some sort of disability, like dyslexia, for instance, if you don't have some sort of specialized care, because like the system, the institution is not based on teaching someone who has dyslexia how to read. Haunted by the ghost to the back of my chair, yeah. Ce n'est jamais trop tard. I guess so. It's never too late. I guess unless I got that wrong, in which case I'm owned. 14% below basic. Fewer adults with below basic document. Oh, so it's increasing. I don't know how to read this data. Oh, average score. I see. The average score goes up. I don't know what these different tests are. Prose document quantitative. Oh, scroll down. Prose literacy. Below basic. That's pretty small then. It says 14% are below. Oh, I guess that's. Can perform simple and everyday literacy activities. I guess basic isn't. Like proficient is like reading a young adult novel, right? Like if you read a young adult novel and you know all the words, you're at a proficient level. Or is it worse than that? Is it like, maybe I go to Francophone Cafe Montreal shocks owner by ordering in fluent English. I can't pronounce French in a way that French people understand it. Like I can, like German is easy. I feel like easy enough to pronounce in a legible way. But I try like, je voudrais un café s'il vous plaît, and they're like, what? I don't know, what am I? Low English literacy adults. I can't read. What am I looking at? The proportion would be like 15. Oh no, that's I'm looking at the wrong graph. Millions of adults. I don't know what the levels are. Oh, you can't see. This is low English literacy. It's mid or high. So it's pretty large. 16 plus 26. The full Rizzler video, thank you.
Kendopoloscope. It's kaleidoscope. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it is kaleidoscopic. I got it wrong too. Fuck.
Kaleidoscope.
I guess I'm also illiterate.
Kaleidoscopic. Oh, I got it.
Okay,
Okay, you try the next one. Denbarato. What? Denbarato. Defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Oh, he got it.
Defibrillator.
That counts.
Gromentet. What?
Oh, that's the.
Groment. Why grow? It's gourmet.
It's so much funnier that it's not his child.
Herd.
Oh, come on.
Herb.
He got it.
It's herb. Herb.
The H is fine. I think the H is a valid pronunciation. Oh, this is his dad? Okay. I guess they do look similar. You're right.
Herb.
It's the other guy. So it's just like Italian from New Jersey.
Oh, we got this before. You just said it before. Wait, what is it? You said it before. Gourmet. Yep.
Yeah, he learned it.
Gourmet.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Gourmet. There you go.
Well, there you go. That's honestly, this is how they should teach. I mean, they probably will. They need to gamify how to like pronounce words. I'm sure if you gave that, like, if you gave this to fucking Aiden Ross and it was like ultranationalist, fascist, he would, and you just like use this for like an hour, he would understand political philosophy completely, I think. Duolingo English to English, yeah. Yeah, just gamify education, sure, why not? There's one thing I saw, it was like a major university, is it American? That like some large humanities course. 0, thank you for the prime. That's like it was announcing that it was like a lot of the syllabus and coursework would be AI generated. Textbook AI generated, class assignments AI generated, teaching assistant resources AI generated. It's UCLA. Comparative lit. It's just, we're so cooked. I mean, it sucks. The state of higher education sucks so much. That's my only, like, I'm returned to tradition about is, I'm sure how much, like, less insane it would have been if you're in a classroom full of people who actually are like, oh, comparative literature sounds cool. Because now it's a degree mill, right? That's it. Like, even the like really difficult to get in, like Ivy League schools, I know the averages for like undergrads are pretty high, because there's a pressure to not fail people because of money. It is so funny to think about a guy who's like, yeah, I'm really smart. I did my undergrad at Harvard. Like, in terms of like, this qualifies me to say things in general. That is a very funny. But yeah, I mean, you need one of these for like most like jobs at a certain level. So you just, everyone's in it and we have to pretend like it's real when it hasn't been. And I guess just the implementation of AI is like, we're finally admitting it's not real. This seems a lot worse in America. I guess we do have private universities in Canada. But I didn't realize like the price of tuition at like a nice American private university. Like, it's insanely more. It's crazy. Like, it's the price of the international fees if you're an American and you go to like, which I guess makes sense. You go to like a U of T or Queens is like the same as domestic. $50K a year is crazy. Like, what was Queens? It was like 10, 15? Maybe it was 10. Like, not including living stuff. I think so. And Queens is a nice school. Maybe it's changed since I went. Tuition only. Oh no, it's 6,000. I'm silly. 6,000 Canadian a year for Queens. It's way less. Western is 7,500 Canadian. And 6,000, that's 4,000 US. It's crazy. That was like a cultural divide I didn't understand. University of Ontario might get a lot more expensive soon. Yeah, that's true. That is an interesting component of like fears concerning. It is an odd thing, but that was an interesting component of fears concerning immigration. Is like, I know there was a controversy when I was going to Queens about Saudi students specifically, that like there was a lot of spots held by the university for international Saudi students, and there was like a thing about like, oh, like why are like rich oil baron kids getting spots, but now especially that like it, Trudeau has explicitly been like, no, we're not doing immigration anymore. I'm sure that's going to be much more, but yeah, like that was quite a bit of the money generation was international fees. Schools in Montreal are way up. Yeah, well, it's interesting because I know in the province passed some sort of thing that made student fees for people outside of Quebec much more expensive. Although I know like Montreal has like a scholarship that if you're out of province, you automatically get enrolled in that like compensates for that difference. Am I right about that? Because they're an English speaking school. It's very funny. It's a very funny law in that in with that consideration of like the courses are taught and graded in English. Like, oh yeah, like why would we be invested in people from other provinces? You're in MA and you don't. Oh, at Concordia, because Concordia is also English speaking. I was debating Concordia for my MA. Maybe it's different for graduate fees. McGill seems miserable to go to. Honestly, any university, especially near where the campus is small, is probably nice. That was my experience at Queens. Like I heard people who had to like bus to university. I was like, damn, that's like being able to like walk to university from the dorms, and then everyone is just around, and then you like when you move out, you just move out a 10-minute walk away. It's because it's walkable. It's your first experience with things being walkable. And everything is happening in a walkable distance. It's a nice experience. Boston have a ton of rich foreign kids to go to colleges here. That makes sense. We need 15-minute universities because of woke. Yeah, what else are we talking? What else is going on? My tummy hurts. Did I? I did. Americans think following their college days is the only time they live in a Waco community. Yeah, I was thinking that tweet too. You got impeached, right? I saw that. That is an insane America, L. It's like an absurd America, L, that their coup guy was fine. And like, that was too much for South Korea. Like, they were like, this is too authoritarian. Like, we can't be doing this. You guys gotta feel very embarrassed. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to explain that. What is interesting, it's funny, maybe the trick is to just wait a couple years. We do. The trick is to wait a couple years, because like Trump after January 6th was like he was like his career is over. It's done. He's fucked. But like whatever, he has to get out, so it's fine. Actually, I mean, I guess he did get impeached. Don't most presidents of South Korea? I guess you're right. I guess that is actually the difference. Is that the impeachment process has more. I think the idea of impeaching and removing an American president is crazy. Well, I guess the idea of convicting an American president, because that's what the process. You get impeached, then you have to be convicted. Although I guess Yoon hasn't been convicted yet, has he? It's something that's happened quite a few times in South Korea, has it not? Whereas in America, it kind of almost happened once, and then he left before. Yeah, I guess it does have a 100% failure rate in the U.S. Maybe the system is different too, because it's clear that the Republicans didn't want, like, the thing that was stopping them was the Republicans. Okay, it's break time, and I'm gonna go for a minute or two, and I'll be back. I'm playing an ad, so if you're not paying me, you're not missing anything, I guess. What is this Nixon erasure? I'm sorry. I need to recognize the goat. Here, I'll be right back. I'm back. An actual ad break. It really makes you think. I didn't. No, I did the timer again. We're back. I need to plug in my phone. Because I'm going out somewhere after I'm streaming. My phone is low. Oh, I had, it's Livega again. I had a really, I think I had sleep paralysis last night, or this morning. Jordan Peterson is leaving Canada. Is he going to Russia? Is he going to America? I guess he's probably going to America. No, I moved to the US. It would be so much funnier if he went to Russia. I mean, that makes sense. No, was it even hot? It's funny because I sleep with the sleep mask on. I sleep with a sleep mask on and these big ass earmuffs. So when I had sleep paralysis, it was auditory. It was really weird. I could conceptualize something happening. And I kind of, in my dream, I like kind of stood up a little bit. Like I moved my head. but I couldn't move, and it was like I thought I wasn't dreaming, but it was weird. I was like, I have to wake up, but it wasn't I have to wake up. It was I have to like start moving because I'm not able to move now for some reason. And I could hear, because my girlfriend had left because she went skiing super early. I didn't want to wake up at 6:30. But there was someone where she would have been like moving around, and I was like, this is a threat, and I have to deal with it, and it's a spooky guy. But I can't see him because I can't see anything. It was really weird. But I think it was sleep paralysis. It was the Hatman, yeah. Actually, I didn't auditory sleep paralysis. Hallucinate sounds or sensations. So just a person in the room or even in their chest. It's hypnagogic, I think. Because it was when I was falling asleep. It was a dream, yeah. There wasn't anyone there. She had already left. Because I fell back asleep. But I couldn't see anything. Is it like when you have sleep paralysis, are your eyes open? Chat? Or is it a visual, or is it like you think that you're awake, but you're not? Like the visual component of sleep paralysis comes from your eyes being open. If that's what I'm asking, I guess. You're awake but can't move. Are you awake? I guess is that an empirical question? I have an impossible perspective of the room. I think I had that too. In the dream, I didn't have a sleep mask on. My face was under the covers and I was kind of hiding. But then I could also see that there was like stuff moving around to my left. Girlfriend has these dreams where she dreams where she's right where she is, but there's a demon. I think that's just sleep paralysis, isn't it? Maybe it isn't. But I guess I was having sleep paralysis. I've never had that before. How does science explain people seeing demons? Because people hallucinate shit all the time. There's so many times where you see something and you process it as a thing and it wasn't that thing. Like, wasn't that recently? Maybe it was a month ago. I was on a walk and it's British Columbia. I'm in the forest. Like, there's a lot of black bears around here. And I swear I saw a black bear. Like, I had a memory of a black bear moving, but it was just like a black blob. But I had processed it as such. And then my brain... Yeah, science, it's very easy for science to explain a bunch of... I mean, essentially all of that. In that, like, we're pattern recognizing beings. And we see stuff that isn't there. Is that a brown bear? That's what I said. I said it out loud. Concepts of a black bear. So, for sure, sleep paralysis. There you go. Pluto is still a planet. Thank you for the prime. I agree. Sometimes can't see anything during sleep paralysis, but I can feel a presence. Right. Yeah, I guess so. Well, is that bad? I guess it just happens. It's not something I have to worry about. It just happens, I guess. Trump just won a defamation suit against George Stephanopoulos. What was the claim over? Defamation suit, if you're the president, is pretty difficult. What did he say? He said that he had been found liable for rape. Wow, that's crazy. I'm surprised that went to the level of defamation. Because wasn't he? What is the technicality there? Because it was in a civil case, so he wasn't liable. But he was found yeah. He didn't win, they settled. Oh, okay. No. Is that just you don't want it to drag on? falsely said judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape, which is incorrect, I guess. But yeah, I would be so surprised if that would, because in America, especially with a public figure, right? You have to know something is wrong, but say it anyways because you want to damage someone's opinion. Want to settle before he takes office. I see. Well, that's... Yeah, I guess you don't court case with a guy who appoints your regulator. Well, this is normal and democratic. He's found liable in a civil court. So I guess it's incorrect that 2 separate courts found him liable. So he just settled. I guess ABC just settled. Trump Elon followed. I think it's gonna be quick. I think so. I have a hard time believing they're gonna be, because they hate each other already, don't they? I don't know. I think it would be funny. Maybe it's just cope, but I find it hard to. Same with RFK. Because now they want to revoke, like, he's trying to get the polio vaccine no longer certified or whatever. Remove FDA approval of it, which is insane. Like, one of the most, like, successful vaccination or vaccines in history, right? The first vaccine. Yeah, and sorry, can't you... Grocery prices will be more expensive, but you will be getting polio. Is it no longer issued? Oh, okay. I guess they eradicated polio, did they not? Was that the one... Or is it still going? Endemic wild polio virus type 1 remains in 2 countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Darn. So I guess that's not immediately worrying. Yeah, because I guess people don't get the polio. Do people get the polio vaccine? I don't remember getting it. Do people use that? No, okay. They don't need to. Americans get polio vaccine. It's so fucking melted that all the responses now have the AI overview. I've already seen this lie to me. We're so cooked. Inactive polio vaccine is the only polio vaccine that's given since 2000. So I guess it's not... I mean, it's a bad sign. I guess the point is literally that he's saying it's bad. He's making a statement out of it, which we don't let... It's probably not good. When I said to put glue on pizza, yeah, it's great. It's cool that, like, all of this is being invested in chatbots. All of this, like, hope for the future of, like, all these cool things are gonna happen. And it's just, we've already admitted that it's plateauing and that, like, chatbots aren't gonna get better, particularly. Like, it's not, the computation is not like a hockey stick. We're kind of leveling out. There's a really good video. This lady who's a former physicist, academic. What is her name? I'm just gonna Google. What is her? She had a good video about this insane the Zoom CEO guy. Angela Collier. Yeah. We can watch that video. I like this lady.
What I would say. So
ISIS is very long. ISIS is very long. Oh no, is this? No, I was thinking of a different one maybe. No, it was this one.
What I would say in different. Okay, but let's roll it back. Let's just.
Maybe we can just watch the Zoom interview is so funny. Oh no, maybe we could just watch some of this.
This article and the accompanying podcast came out, and
I
I
like
haven't
this
stopped
lady.
thinking about it since. The article is called "The CEO of Zoom Wants AI Clones in Meetings," and it's really funny.
You should subscribe to her. She's cool.
Because if you listen to the podcast, the host of the podcast, who's the editor-in-chief
Oh,
of
yeah?
this website, Nilay Patel,
I guess
he
it's
says
American.
the exact same thing. He also can't stop thinking about it.
I haven't stopped thinking about it since we recorded it. I think you're gonna like it.
But I wonder if it's for the same reason, which is that this is just some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard come out of a human's mouth. Like, it's so stupid that I can't believe it's published, and I can't believe Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, has not emailed them and been like, could we take this down, please? Anyway, let's go through it together. Join me on this journey into just like the dumbest future anyone could want. You can go listen to the podcast if you want. I'm going to highlight the things he said, just factually what he said with words and with no comment from me. We'll comment later. I'm just going to tell you what Eric Yoon, the CEO...
I do like watching content of someone who's very smart, who's in this state of
Zoom, you know.
Being like dumbfounded at something.
The video conferencing company.
It is fun. It's a little bit fun to be mad in this
about
way.
The future of Zoom. You know,
the last time I felt this was about reading that Ben Burgess article, where he says, like, he makes some claim about how the point of Marxism is all about like democratizing value production, and he cites Critique of the Gotha program.
Conferencing company. So Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom,
tell us like evidence.
Wants Zoom to be an AI first company. He says that in the future, Zoom, the video conferencing software, will be able to send digital clones of you to meetings. And those digital clones will read your emails so that you don't have to.
This is awesome.
To emails. They will act as you. They will make decisions. They will go to meetings and answer questions exactly the way you would do it.
That's so cool.
An AI avatar will essentially be an AI version of yourself, meaning it will act the same way you will. And you can use it to do your work because it's going to behave the same way that you would in that situation. It has all of your knowledge and all of your information. And in fact, you could have an infinite number of these AI digital clones that could all be synced together and working together. But also, what if you could change the parameters on those clones? What if you could like make one a little bit better at being a salesman? Or you could like turn up the empathy when you go fire a person for sending an AI clone to a meeting or something. You can do that with Zoom, you know, the video conferencing software. Let me read to you from this interview his vision for the company. Today, for this session, ideally, I do not need to join. I can send a digital version of myself to join so I can go to the beach. Or, I don't know, check my emails. The digital version of myself can read most of the emails. Maybe 1 or 2 emails will tell me, Eric, it's hard for the digital version to reply. Can you do that? Again, today, we all spend a lot of time either making phone calls, joining meetings, sending emails, deleting some spam emails, and replying to some text messages. Still very busy. How do we leverage AI? How do we leverage Zoom Workplace to fully automate that kind of work? That's something that is very important for us. I think for now, the number one thing is AI is not there yet, and that still will take some time. Let's assume, fast forward 5 or 6 years, that AI is ready. AI probably can help for maybe 90% of the work, but in terms of real-time interaction, today you and I are talking online, so I can send my digital version, and you can send your digital version. So Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, is predicting that in 5 to 6 years' time, 5 to 6 years from now, Zoom will be playing the paradigm-shifting role in ensuring that you can send your digital clone to meetings, to answer emails, to make decisions, replacing 90% of your job. Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, says in 5 to 6 years, 90% of the work done by human workers will be done by digital clones hosted by
scan
Zoom.
Your brain.
You know,
the video conferencing software. Zoom, the company.
It's so funny how much Zoom dropped the ball recently. Like, Zoom is so washed now.
Company who looks like this. That
Yeah, they're
company
cooked. They're cooked.
is going to be the one to introduce AI to the workforce in a way that works.
Does Zoom use AI? I guess every company is a fucking AI company now.
And then, you know, we'll be at the beach. Like you and I, we're
Yeah,
at
it's
the beach.
Teams usually,
The digital
Microsoft
clones
Teams.
are doing all the work. 5 to 6 years, 90% of the work. We're at the beach.
It's just amazing. Take an investment. It's where the money is.
The tech world is just hoisted up by journalists who don't ask second questions, where they kind of just let really rich people with companies.
Yeah, they're gonna make AI CEOs next. Because they don't want to get shot.
Say stupid shit without like asking them about it. Like asking any second question. Like Eric Yuan, CEO of Zoom, is like 90% of labor will be gone because our digital clones will replace them. And it's like, where did you get that number, babe? Why are you saying that number very specifically? What do you mean? Nilay Patel, the interviewer here, I think he does an admirable job walking this fine line, right? Like, he can't laugh in the CEO of Zoom, Eric Yuan's face, and be like, you think digital clones are happening in 5 years? Like, oh my God, what do you mean? He can't do that, right? So, for example, here's one of the questions.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, you're right. If they made AI CEOs, they would. Someone else would make an AI Luigi to AI shoot the AI CEO in the back of the head.
Nilay Patel asks Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom. He says, what about hallucinations? Like right now, we were all very excited when we saw how good ChatGPT was, but then we realized almost immediately that it just makes up garbage. It just makes up lies.
And you can't
AI is
tell
a
it
nice little
not
tool
to.
you can use, but you need an expert to check it. And you're saying in 5 to 6 years, we're going to be rid of that problem? Like, we'll no longer have hallucinations? Are you guys working this? It's so funny, because Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, he's just like, well, yeah, that's a problem. You can't get there overnight. 5 to 6 years from now, you know, I'm sure that'll be fixed. That's
You know what Nick Lan would have wanted? Actually, I wonder what Nick Lan's opinions are. Because I know Nick Lan would probably be mad as hell about the fact that everyone wants AI to look like humans.
Be fixed. And Nilay Patel asks a second question, something I appreciate very much, and he says, are y'all working on this? Or like, this is what you guys are fixing? Do you have some information we don't have? Like, what's happening here? And Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, says the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He says, it's down the stack.
It's down the stack.
It's just down the stack.
Just correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are so right. Absolutely. This is technology stack. You have to count on so many others. Yeah.
So is the AI model hallucination problem down there in the stack, or are you investing in making sure that the rate of hallucinations goes down?
I think that'll be fixed, you know, in the low.
But I guess my question is by who? Is it by you or is it somewhere down the stack?
And some down the stack.
You've heard of the job of like Stack Developer, and you've heard of the website like Stack Overflow. The stack is just like a data structure. It's fine. It doesn't.
Isn't it different than the overflow?
Matter. Actually, I don't know if
I don't know.
This is true. Is this like a factual piece of information or just a story that people tell? Let me know in the comments. I've always heard that you describe the stack as like one of those.
They're two different stacks. I don't know what either of them are.
Plate thing.
It doesn't matter.
Is it like a buffet where like plates pop up, right? That's the data structure. So you can push the plates down by adding new plates, but the bottom plate is always on the bottom. So Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, you know, a company that looks like this, a video conferencing company, says, no, we're going to be AI first, right? And at the top of the stack, you have AI tools, a thing that Zoom offers at no cost to you. And the thing about Zoom's AI tools is that
Stack Overflow is a memory thing. Full stack is in back end, front end, right?
they're all just ChatGPT. Like the AI tools offered by Zoom is like they listen to the meeting and they read the chat and they convert that all.
You'll see there's a headline like Apple is now doing a thing where they can AI generate summaries of news articles, and their AI accidentally summarized a CNN article in saying Luigi Mangione shot himself.
To like the text of the meeting.
And CNN is not, I think it's CNN, right, is not particularly happy about their work as a BBC. Yeah, okay.
And then
Being not particularly hype, but their work being
AI
misrepresented.
language learning model summarizes that meeting and sends it back to you. That's an AI tool by Zoom, which is equivalent to like the capstone project of a 10th grader using ChatGPT. Zoom just uses ChatGPT, right? And down the stack, you know, way down the stack, 5 to 6 years from now, apparently somebody is going to make a tool that can make an AI clone that Zoom will then use to replace 90% of the workforce. But that's down the stack. It's just down the stack.
It's
like in
stack.
between magic, it's magic, but 5 years from now, it's down the stack.
It's down the stack.
I can't stop saying it's down the stack. I think it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Like, how is that going to happen? What's going to happen? It's down the stack. It's just down the stack.
Tech is so cool though, because like it is fucking magic, right? Like we all understand. You know, maybe there's people who are trying to explain what a stack is to me, but it's like it's insane the things that can be done. Like even AI, even the concept of like, can you make me a picture of Elon Musk hugging a Doge and, you know, money flowing out of his ears? The fact that it just does that is really cool. It's like insane magic. So I think there's like a kind of a tech hubris about like what they're able to do as a result of that. United Squids, thank you for the prime. Honestly, probably the tech hubris probably just comes from like funds.
Okay, but let's roll it back. Let's discuss.
It's probably because of the money. They don't believe it, but like when you are telling investors things about like what a language model can do to get funding, eventually you start saying it enough that you start thinking it.
What I would have asked as a second question, when Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, said in 5 to 6 years he's going to replace 90% of the workforce with AI digital clones that attend Zoom meetings. Like, the first thing I would say is Zoom is...
There's so much money yeah. Yeah, I guess it is, like, especially with the, like, execs of those large companies, there's, like, a large division of labor, and, like, they're just hearing shit, and they don't, it's hard to distinguish between, like, this is the lie you tell investors because you want to get in on the AI bubble, investment funds, and then, like, it's like, well, but we can't do that. Like, or like, we don't have any concrete image of how we would do that.
It's a company that looks like this. Zoom does not have the capital.
Like, whenever Elon Musk was trying to, like, authoritatively talk about, like, the structure of Twitter, remember in those early days? He was like, oh, this outage is a result of this, like, clearly puppeting something that a dev had told him, and he had done it in a wrong way. Or, like, ex-devs were being like, he doesn't know what the fuck. It's not that at all.
Whatever company's tool that could actually make digital AI clones. So are they developing these tools? Nilay Patel does
Understood how much techno-optimism is based on PMs lying to their bosses.
ask, and Eric Yoon is just like, you know, it's down the stack. It's going to happen in the future.
Makes
Like,
you
I'm
think.
sure these problems will be solved. I'm sure they will be solved. And I would just say, whomst is solving the problems. If we were going to make a list of why this is so stupid, that's the first big thing I would say. Why would whatever research group, whatever company that produces this amazing language learning model that can be applied from person to person, that is so high fidelity that it can be fine-tuned, that you can change the parameters on it and send like a good salesman out, why would they ever give that to Zoom? Why would Zoom be involved at all? Zoom is a company that looks like this. They do not have the capital to purchase this. They do not have the capital to do this research. Why would Zoom be involved at all? What do you think your role is in this? Sure, you can grab ChatGPT and you can shove it wherever nobody wants it because nobody wants it. But like, everyone can do that. Why do you get to make the digital clones? What specifically is Zoom offering? Zoom is a video conferencing company. What do you mean? That also doesn't work. Even in the magical world where you can make an AI...
Yeah, the point of meetings is to, like, convey...
clone of yourself that can go to meetings and can make decisions.
Like, the guy, the AI copy of you who goes to the meetings is also the one who writes the code.
It's just like, that's not how meetings work. Meetings are not like, here's a summary of what Angela knows on this topic. In a meeting, I'm having a conversation. We are talking in a room together, or we are talking on Zoom. I mean,
A
nobody
ton of software engineers use Chat. Yeah, ChatGPT is definitely. I don't know how to code. I've been told is quite useful
is using Zoom.
for
They're on
coding
Microsoft
stuff. Of like, can you do this rudimentary thing that would take me 2 hours to
Teams,
do?
or like we're drawing on a whiteboard. Am I gonna have to wear a camera and a
Which makes sense because it's a procedural thing.
microphone at all
Right.
times so my Zoom clone can get all of that information? Because Eric,
I like it, Tom. Thank
Zoom
you.
is acting like
I will say, hearing people use ChatGPT to write basic emails is so insane. That's maybe the only thing that I could imagine myself using ChatGPT for, because I fucking hate writing emails. Like, I would rather, can I say that? I can't say that on Twitch. I would rather do something bad to myself than like ever like employ ChatGPT on like something like a work I care about. Like whether that's for the podcast or like a newsletter, or like writing a book or something. Like like I would like don't touch like ChatGPT, don't touch my work. Writing an email, I don't know what to
all of that information is in emails.
I'm like I'm always so bad at like phrasing.
Meetings
which is probably just overthinking
don't
things.
happen in
But I hate
emails.
it.
Meetings are conversations. Meetings, especially for scientists like myself, we're writing equations down and we're trying to solve problems, and we're all talking about previous experiences we've had in different labs in different environments that will help us solve the current problem. And none of that is in an email. None of that can be scrapped by the AI to get the information. How would this even work? How does the AI clone know that in 2013 I was in an undergrad lab and I used a very specific algorithm? How does it know that? How is it going to know that? Because that's how I'm going to solve the problem with my brain. How does my AI digital clone have that piece of information? Are you saying that Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, will somehow figure out how the human brain works and somehow be able to map my brain and put it into the clone? Because otherwise the clone is just reading emails, and the only information it has is what's in the emails. Am I literally wearing a microphone every day to train it on what I would say in different situations? It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. The technology will definitely not exist in 5 years, but even if it did, it would not work that way. Have you even thought about this for a second? The next thing I think is like, who's paying for this? Like, does my company hire me and then give Zoom money to make an AI clone of me that I can then send to meetings? Or
It's so funny because like I guess what he just means is that a thing would be automated. It is, maybe this is it. Because the CEO of Zoom, like it has to apply to Zoom. This is a world where Zoom is still important. So it can't just be that like all of these jobs are completely automated by like a general intelligence that is automated and that we can, you know, that is essentially like a slave to us that we can make do whatever we want and has no agency, and it's like just all they can, you know, you have human thoughts and a human mind, and it functionally you can compute and you have a coherent, but you have to keep doing this. It's like, but then Zoom wouldn't matter. So it's like, no, but it's like that, but it's you. It copies who you are.
Zoom money to host my AI clones and keep track of them and make sure all the information is up to date. Like, why is Zoom involved in this at all? Like, if I have an AI clone, wouldn't that be something I'm disseminating to the various companies I'm working for? Or alternatively, more probably, the CEOs of whatever company I'm working for would steal my identity and be like, well, this is company property now. Now we have your clones and you're fired, right? It just... This doesn't
they
make
wouldn't
sense.
need you.
Where are the AI clones? Who's keeping track of them? Who's storing the data? Who's training them? How long does it take to train them? What do you mean an AI clone can attend a meeting and answer exactly how I would answer, and this is 5 years away? What do you
I need to make a Luvagar bot.
mean? It's just down the stack, but like, once that happens, what
Down
do
the
you
stack.
mean? What's exactly happening? It made me think about it, probably more than Eric Yon, the CEO of Zoom, has thought about it. The thing about AI is
So Google became the Reddit search bar, now it's still a Reddit search bar, but worse. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like as Google was getting worse, you would just search like blank for blank Reddit. But now that doesn't work anymore. I feel like the Reddit options don't come up.
that it's a tool, right? You cannot blame an
I
AI
think Akinator could guess Luvagar. We should should we try, chat?
Tool for a decision it's
Do we want to
made.
keep
That
watching?
will
Actually, I don't think so. I don't think so, honestly.
always be on the person who uses the AI tool,
I want to
right?
pull. What do you
So
think?
if I
Do you think? Do you think it knows? Akinator. I'm gonna see a poll first. What does chat think? Does Akinator know who Livegar is?
send my AI
You're not allowed to
tool
add me.
to a meeting
Don't do it.
and I tell a random customer that like,
It
hell
absolutely
yeah,
does. I don't think it does.
we can build
We
that
tried this in 2022 and it didn't know who I was. Or maybe it's 2021.
thing,
I guess 2021.
right? And then later I find out that, oh no, my AI clone said I could build a thing that I can't build, and we took $475,000 from this company to
Okay, well that's par for the course though. That's a standard thing that they do at tech
build it,
companies.
and we can't
In their defense on this
do
case.
it, and now we owe them that money, which has already been spent on buying tools because the AI clone purchased the tools because it's allowed to make decisions and it thought we could build the thing, but I'm the
Yeah, they call that
scientist,
sales.
and I know it's not possible. So now we owe them money we don't have.
Yeah. Oh no, the AI clone of the salesperson said that they could do a feature that we can't actually do.
Plus,
It is. We know that it is
litigation
working
fees once
perfectly.
they sue us for saying we could do a thing that we can't do. Is Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom, gonna pay for that?
The AI chat models are good at code because it's trained on almost 20 years of Stack Overflow answers. That's so much code on the public web is AI generated. Okay,
Is he going
interesting.
to
The models have already started getting worse and worse. That's interesting. Like in terms of coding, they're not as good.
insure us against the AI clones making shit up or lying? A thing that AI does very, very well. I mean, it's not lying. It just
This doesn't know.
gobbledygook
It's
whatever
not a-
information it has
yeah.
into an answer, and a lot of time that's
I miss us. Oh, thank you, Thick Daddy Cletus. First message in the chat.
going to be nonsense. Is he going to guarantee that it's not nonsense? Who is going to pay for this when this thing fucks up? Is that what the CEO of Zoom, Eric Yoon, is saying is going to happen?
Okay, I want to try Akinator. We can go back to this. I have ADHD, as you all know. Yeah, let's play it. I guess it's a character, and I'm supposed to answer as if I don't know who Livegar is. Who really? Does anyone know Livegar? What makes you think? Is your character a genie? I don't think so. Does your character have eyes? I would say so. Your character a girl? It's controversial. Character real? Possibly. Personally, no. So the answer is yes. Although I guess but I'm gonna say that it's a no, because it's like I'm. Is your character black? No. Does your character sing on a stage? Not as far as I'm aware. Is your character a gamer? What do you think, chat? Am I known for being a gamer? I guess I do play games on stream. Is your character married? Not technically. Like playing Roblox? No. Play Fortnite? I don't think so. Same issue with plateauing models with the internet data that made LLMs for code. Those are contributing to novelty issues with outputs. Is your character known for Minecraft gaming? I don't think so. Not a Capricorn. I do not have black hair. Show their face? I would say so. Is the character blonde? Well, I guess so. Is this count as blonde now? I don't think so. Not technically. I mean, I was brunette. Right? Which isn't blonde. I guess we say no. For the sake of this, no. I don't think I think, yeah. What do you think, chat? What do we say? Let's go probably. Okay, that's concerning. No, I'm not a VTuber. No, see, it doesn't know who I am. It has no clue. It has no fucking clue. I mean, not famously. No. That's a controversial answer. That's sharks work in the sex industry. No. It doesn't know who I am. It doesn't know who I am. See, I told you. No. Okay, well, let's try one more. It's not gonna know who I am. I don't like this line of questioning, Akinator. I don't like. I don't. Let's say probably. Did your character perform with their sister? No. No, it does not have blue hair. Not Australian. Sort of? Yes. I guess I'm from. No. See, it does no fucking clue. It already asked me this. It's washed. I don't even know what that means. No. No. No, it's washed. No. I guess so? No. No. Okay. Okay. No, I have no clue who that is. It's Cassie of like it doesn't know me. I told you, chat. A big advertising marketer? I do not run a gaming channel. I'll say probably not. What is the... Oh yeah, wow Wubsy. Classic Live Agar. It has no clue. No. Sage Mommy 69. It's pretty close, I would say. I think it's pretty much got me. Valorant streamer. See, I told you. It has no clue who I am, chat.
Like, instead of being a video conferencing software, they're going to be like an insurance company for AI tools, and they're going to say our digital clones 100% all the time. Is that what's happening? Because you can't have an AI clone
No,
make a
don't enter me. Don't enter me into it.
unless you know 100% that it will be an actual good decision that you would have made, and you can never know that because AI is a black box. It doesn't work that way. It's so stupid to say that this is even close to feasible. It's embarrassing to say that this is a possibility. AI tools like this would not save anyone any time, because even if you sent your AI clone to a meeting, you would then have to read the transcript of that meeting to make sure that your AI clone didn't say anything stupid, and you...
I got you. You're described as a Canadian politics enthusiast. I don't believe you. How long did you go? Did you have to go like 3 steps?
would have to send emails and be like...
It was 2? Are you lying to me? Am I being... It doesn't know me. I don't believe you. Well, oh, it's not a genie. Wait. No. Let's try again. Is your character... Has your character existed? Is your character female? Controversial? No. Yes. No. No. It's a very specific... I'll say probably, because I don't know if it would it... No. We went through 4 rounds and didn't get you. I gave him had to enter your name, which brought up a listing for Canadian politics enthusiast. How do I clear out the cookies? How do I do that? Chat. How does that work? Guess Keffel's the 3rd round. Eat them. Thank you. Yes. Do I? Oh. Sorry, I had to press. There's a... Okay, I don't know what I'm... What? There's a F12, go to the cookies. Where? My goodness, I don't... Which tab is this? There's too many moving parts to this. I only bring up this accidentally. Elements network. Private, I'll just do a private tab, okay. Okay. Why is it not? Is it this one? Yeah, okay. All right, let's try it again. Oh, no, this is the wrong tab. Because I have 2 tabs that say Akinator. Oh, and this one disappeared? Hello? This is a mess. Here we go. Is your character female? Is your character real? I don't think so. No. No, let's pretend. Is your character a gamer? I guess yeah, yes. Character black hair? No. Character blonde? I guess probably. Known for Minecraft game. I just got you, it's real. I think you're all gaslighting me. It's linked with Roblox? No, I don't think so. I don't know what that is. Not particularly. I don't think so. You gotta live as well. You're all lying. Show their face. Does not live. No. Dark pink eyes? No. No. Melon playground. Well, I mean. Okay, no. Can your character fly? No. That's just okay. Yes. No. No. Okay. It's not. It's just it's white woman Twitch streamer. No. We'll do one more round. If it doesn't work, then I don't believe you all. Is your character associated with watches? Is your character American? No. No. Okay. Yes. See, it's the same one. It's asking me if I use knives. It doesn't have me. A goblinoid? I'll say probably. I don't run a gaming channel. I don't think so. I do have short hair. Yes, I think so. This depends on how rude. All right, okay. All right, sure. Sure. No, yeah, sure. No. See, it doesn't have me. Look, I'll go probably. I don't see. It doesn't have me. It depends on. Is there a depends on who you ask button? Is your character in the LGBT community? Possibly. Is your character voiced by a female? Depends on who you. Okay. We might be. Okay, no. No. I mean, Not particularly. Do we think yes? Maybe don't know. Like, that's not what I'm known. I say don't know. Okay, maybe it does have me. Oh, okay. I haven't worked for Twitch. Okay. I think I understand metaphors perfectly. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Like, what is
That's fine. It's over.
your AI clone talking about, dude?
I don't
And
have
you
a
would start
face.
having really weird time wasting
Yeah, apparently I'm a genie.
meetings where you would email Dave and be like, your AI clone has convinced my AI clone that this law of physics is broken. Now they're gone off on a loop and they think they can break the second law of thermodynamics, and that's not how this works. So we need to reset our clones to 4 days ago, and we need to figure out why and it's such a waste of time. It doesn't make sense. And Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, is just like, it's down the stack. We'll solve that problem. It's fine. It's down the stack. So this is a really minor problem, and I think it's the easiest
Let's
to
go over chat. Actually, can you see like what this like? I want to see what the person who inputted me, because I guess it says like the like someone submits it and then it says the different qualities of a person. Will it tell you? Maybe I don't want to know. Can it like tell you like what they
refute by saying like this will change with generations, but I cannot imagine logging on to a Zoom, no one's logging on to a Zoom call, logging on to like a Blue Jeans meeting,
Oh,
and
thank you, Brenda.
everyone's face populates and it's all AI avatars and I'm sitting there like the only human. No, I would just log off. I think people would find it very rude if you sent an AI avatar to a meeting instead of sending yourself. Maybe like social rules would change, and 2 generations from now, people would be totally okay with you sending your AI clone to see your grandma in the nursing home. But to me, that seems pretty fucked up and like offensive and mean. And Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, even says to Nilay Patel, who's interviewing him, he's like, I don't want to be at this meeting. I would send my digital clone to this meeting and it could handle it just fine. And you can kind of hear Nilay Patel audibly be like, oh.
Wonder how long ago I was put in. I don't know. Because the last time we checked, well, I guess the last time we checked like 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't. But I guess I didn't do it enough.
You would send an AI digital clone to this meeting, huh? That is rude.
So I'm assuming when you looked at your calendar today, you saw a decoder session. You were going to come to that on your own. What would you have sent an AI avatar to instead?
I think not AI avatar, essentially just the AI version of myself, right?
Sure.
Essentially, not only just to listen to the call, also can interact with participant in a meaningful way, right? Let's say whenever let's say a decision, the team waiting for the CEO to make a decision, or maybe some meaningful conversation. My digital twin sort of really can represent me.
I think you can throw.
It is hard for me to comprehend. Like the whole interview is him being like, yeah, that's the thing that's down the stack we're gonna do. Because you say like, why is she saying Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, so many times? It is hard to comprehend, even though she's saying it that many times. That it's like, yeah, he is saying that that's the thing they're gonna do.
Maybe in the future, no one will think that's rude. I would find that very rude. I would immediately log off any meeting where everyone was an AI. I'm not gonna sit and talk to a computer. Absolutely not. What a nightmare. No. But also, imagine an AI avatar, digital clone, could actually do my job. Like, it could type my code for me. It could make my PowerPoint slides. It could go to conferences and present at meetings. It would come up with new ideas and write new software and run new simulations and apply for grants and get funding. And it could do all of that by itself.
It is really depressing. Like, even the image, like that world, the image that like a tech CEO has of that is like very depressing. Because it's not like, it is kind of the Zizek thing of like, I have my plastic penis and you have your plastic vagina, and then they fuck, and then we talk, and then have like authentic. Very tall, Bart. Thank you for the raid. We have like an authentic, back and forth. It's not that though. The thing that you do in the meantime is like either be poor or like just have annoying, like kind of meaningless hobbies that you follow.
And I'm at
Like all of the quote unquote productive stuff is done by the AI. And then our lives aren't filled with any sort of meaningful productive activity.
the beach.
Because it's like, well, the AI will do the productive intellectual activity. Like we'll just fucking do nothing. It's just all free time.
Why would my company pay me if all of this is being?
It's a weird
done?
thing where like free time is produced through this kind of like the excess of like, well, I don't have to work right now, so I'm gonna relax, and like this part of my life isn't like all that meaningful because I don't have much to do and I just have my little hobbies. Yeah, I watch Disney or whatever,
on their server.
But it's just all that. Like even that image of like freedom and autonomy is like false. Even though it's of course impossible, like it's still incredibly depressing.
With their energy,
The Biden count is when I forget an obvious word. So it's not
hosted on like their computers with their information and their goals and strategies at that company, and I'm at the beach. I don't have a job anymore. I'm not at the beach actually. I'm just hungry because I don't have any money, because I don't have a job, because the AI clones have taken the job. I don't think this technology will exist in 5 to 6 years. That's a ridiculous thing to say. But in the event that it did, no one is paying me to send an AI clone to do something while I sit on the beach. That's not how companies work. And Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, knows that, because even though they're a video conferencing software, Zoom does not let their employees work from home. So is Eric Yuan, the CEO of Zoom, paying his employees AI avatars to do stuff while his employees are at the beach? I don't believe that for a second. Absolutely not. If this technology existed, why would companies ever pay anyone? Like you said, the AI digital clones can do 90% of the work which you think is just answer emails and go to meetings. Why would companies ever hire anyone? Like they could hire one guy, and that guy would do 100% of the work made up from the 10% of everybody else's jobs, but they could also have that guy's AI clones, go to all the meetings, write all the code, go to all the presentations, do all the things. Like they don't need to hire people if the clones can do the work.
I didn't know you could.
So this isn't for people. This isn't so you and I can have a 4-day work week and go to the beach. This is for the people who own companies to go to the beach. Infinite growth with zero expenses because the AI clones do all the work. So
you should subscribe to Angela Collier. She's good. I like her videos. Yeah, it's great. I love the future. It is so cool. Like even the image that's produced there is like so depressing. Even it's obviously not possible. And it would be a technology that sort of implies the possibility of like a Star Trek utopia. But how it's applied, how it's mobilized is like insanely depressing. Yeah, I mean, it would that sort of thing in the current social formation would be awful because it would be, I mean, the economy would collapse. At least like modern industrial, like so much would become superfluous. And that's not like, you want to make things more efficient, but you still need labor for the economy to grow. For a number of reasons. Daft Punk Anime Remastered. Bad AI job? Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's a bunch of like shots that were weird, wasn't it? Like it came off like strange. Also, if you have a Amazon account, you can connect it to your Twitch account and get one free subscription a month. These would not be this. Well, I guess the reality also is absurd, where it's like, if just like literally AI could just produce a version of you that just does any sort of like these sort of intellectual computer jobs, like just for free. It would be like such an absurd, like the portion of the American economy that would be automated is like absurd, right? Which is obviously not the reality. I do think a lot of like, I think there's an overemphasis on which jobs are threatened because of ChatGPT. Because a lot of jobs are already sort of superfluous. Oops. What's AI IQ test these days? I don't think you could apply a IQ test to AI. I don't think it works. Right, like, oop. Is a top of the hour ad break. Because like, what would like asking an AI, like an AI's like visual processing skills are like insane, right? In a certain parameter. Or like most of like ask an AI to like have a bunch of synonyms for this word. It'll be very easy. It seems like it would be hard to do. I feel like AI or IQ is made for humans. I can't reason, it's a statistics engine. Well, in the sense of like practically, like you like with an IQ test you want a certain output. You give an input to a person and you want them to, and you grade the output. In that sense, it can reason in the sense that it's like it can give an answer that can be graded, but maybe not. Yeah, what's my IQ if I have an access to the test bank? And IQ tests are silly anyways. You can train for IQ tests and get better at them. General intelligence as a thing is also very silly. I remember reading. I just remember reading a paper about an attempt to track a lot of factors that you would think would relate to general intelligence, with people's actual scores, and it doesn't quite work very well. There are a lot of other factors that are more important, for like your profession, even things like speeding tickets. Does anyone know what paper I'm referencing? I think it's Australian speeding tickets. Is that the results? Or maybe that's a widely discussed study. I can't. This is something I'm not too. The specifics of I'm not too familiar with. People are very silly about IQ though. It's also a cultural thing. It's contextual. Yeah, 100 is also just average. So it would change as well. It's a relative score. I feel like IQ exists in a sense, like it's like a functional empirical thing. But it's fairly relative too, because you have to test someone to produce a result. But people are very silly about what the test means. I know when it's in Mensa, she talks about it all the time, which like is lame, right? Like if that's like your thing, it's probably because you're lame. What is Mensa? Is it 140? Just seems like an annoying. I mean, I guess good for them, because if you're like that, you want to meet other people who are like that and be like annoying with them. Good for you. You can test certain mental skills with a qualify the sum of an overall number and say that's how smart you are is dumb. Right. Because, like, isn't it initially at least based on this idea that there is a general intelligence that we can point to? That has, that, like, in some way, whatever entity that is causes your skill in, like, your visual processing, verbal reasoning, etc. All the different components. I can't remember them all. But then that turns out to be silly. Because it's far less unified among people. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably call it here for now. We're back. Took a couple days off because I wasn't with my streaming stuff. But I should be back streaming regularly. Join the Discord. It'll ping you when I go live. We're gonna do a life advice segment at some point. You know, like if you have an interesting life, you're in a predicament, you need, and it's interesting. Emphasis on it being interesting. Fill out the form. It's either a vocal, like a Voc audio thing, which is better, or a text if you want. Yeah. And we'll do that at some point when we get enough answers. Then we can make a segment out of it. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Over streaming. Alright, Drew, shout out. And Josh, they're playing Disco Elysium. That's cool. Thank you all for tuning in. Should be back, like, I don't know, a couple days from now. Goodbye.